And I've never been asked to do an awful lot of dancing in films and television, but I got to do some in this episode, although it wasn't even scripted, whilst eating cake. Hi, I'm Jeremy Swift, and I play Leslie Higgins in Ted Lasso, and I think these are the episodes you need to watch. First of all, episode 1, because otherwise you're not going to know what's going to go on. You need to see Rebecca, played by Hannah Waddingham. You need to see where she's coming from and how she mixes honey and poison. And for your information, Hannah Waddingham is one of the warmest people you could ever meet, so this is awesome acting. All the characters get established in this one, and you fall in love with Jason's Ted, who is already, let's face it, one of the most iconic comedy characters from the get-go, and the banter between him and Coach Beard is just refreshing and funny and delightful and sweetly crazy. You also need to see, my favorite moment is Nick Mohammed's false re-entry into the scene where Ted and Beard meet Rebecca. In that moment, you realize that his character Nate is so terrified that he doesn't know where he is or where he's going, what he's doing. And it's a moment in that ep that makes me laugh every time I see it. It's so fabulous.
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Ted Lasso, your new coach. You must be Miss Weldon.
Moving on to episode 2, The Thought Plickens, as my father used to say. There's more great banter and the legendary "Be a Goldfish" quote. And the ep is called Biscuits, and like the goldfish quote, those bickies, as we call them in the UK, don't ask me why. And I've never been asked to do an awful lot of dancing in films and television, but I got to do some in this episode, although it wasn't even scripted, whilst eating cake. Zach Braff, the director of that episode 2, he wanted lots of takes of me eating cakes, and I must have eaten half of a really cheap sugary cake, and my teeth buzzed for about 2 days. Episode 4, another fantastic episode, and Ted attempts to adjudicate and address the toxic masculinity that is going on between Jamie and Roy. And Beard's scream when they have a little argy-bargy of no Fight Club, that kills me every time. Phil Dunster and Brett Goldstein are superb and excel in this episode. And we have the first appearance of Rebecca's ex, the oleaginous Rupert, played by the superb Tony Head. And we see totally where Rebecca is coming from with her revenge on Rupert and indeed the club. This ep also marks the beginning of the fabulous female buddy relationship between Rebecca and Keeley.
Do you want to go get like really drunk?
Yes, I do.
Then we can go rob a bank or something.
Ep 5 is possibly one of my favourites of them. They're all so great. But the ep begins with a scene with me and my wife and the Higgins family, and my wife is playing my wife in the show. And the show is very much about family, and of course there's our family is counterbalanced by the you know, the very sad breakup with Ted and his wife, and it's done so well, and just a fantastic scene that Phil and Jason pull off with Ted's son being a huge fan. Is just is the juxtaposition in that scene of emotions is just played so well, and it's really on a tightrope.
I'm sorry about this.
Don't you dare apologise. Thanks to you, we can afford to get the other car fixed. Tell him, boys.
Yeah, bye, Dad.
Whatever.
Love you.
Love you, darling.
Oh, and tell your boss, I hope she gets heart disease.
Episode 10 is just so fantastically edited. It's I'm not a football fan, but the way that is pieced together is extraordinary, and you are cheering and rooting for Richmond in a way that you never thought you would. And it's very, very emotional, and everybody pulls it off. It's a superbly directed and edited episode, and a great finale to the show.
Leslie, is that your first name?
It was my mother's name. I'm what's known as a feminine junior.
Oh, cool.
And that's my quick binge of Ted Lasso Season 1.